Good afternoon. My name is David Barter, and I am the Practice Director for the Microsoft and End User Compute practices here at Green Pages. One of the things I'd like to do is have a quick chat with you about what we saw in the month of April around changes with Microsoft, and one of the most exciting ones that we have is the release of Citrix and Microsoft's tandem project called Citrix Essentials. With that coming out, we're looking forward to having a solid go-to-market strategy on how to deliver desktop as a service out of the Azure cloud, and something that people are familiar with. This goes back to the days when Citrix had a SMB version of Citrix that you could run locally, and now they've said, okay, we're going to abandon remote desktop as far as it being delivered out of Azure, remote app as it's delivered out of Azure in the sense that they had in platform as a service, and really focus on giving folks a quality, well thought out, and easy to deploy Citrix environment that we're all used to. Since the days of MetaFrame 1.5 all the way up through now, Citrix has been around and has been the leader when it comes to having a solid remote desktop, and now what we have is something coming out of Azure. So that's probably one of the most exciting things that's happening. It's been in the works for several months. We've all seen it. I expect to see more of it at Synergy here coming up very shortly in May when we go out there to the customer event down in Orlando. I'm sure it will be front and center. There's also rumblings around Microsoft potentially buying Citrix, and nothing's formal there, and there hasn't been any formal announcement. But what would make a better partnership than to have Microsoft buy something that they've been working with directly for many, many years? So from a partner perspective and a customer perspective, that's all good news. In the Office 365 front, some of the things that we've seen have been the development and deployment of Microsoft Teams. We're all familiar with SharePoint and what SharePoint can do, and we're all familiar with what other sort of collaboration products are out there. What we've been missing, though, has been a really solid collaboration tool set inside of Office 365 if you don't want to deploy SharePoint. Let's say you want to chat and you want to store files, and you want to have OneNote, and you want to be able to communicate collaboratively inside of a very tabulated or containerized environment. Well, what Microsoft Teams offers you is not only a web version, but also an on-prem version where you as an organization, we Green Pages specifically use it, that when we're developing customer documentation and we're trying to work in a collaborative environment where I've got people working everywhere, they can then log into this. We can post updates. They can be alerted for those updates. And the best part of it is, all we had to do was just build a tab and start adding people to it. I didn't have to think about what SharePoint deployment was going to take place. I didn't have to think about workflow. I didn't have to think about templates. But I get a nice, organized environment in which to be collaborative. The other piece to Microsoft Teams that we find is important and has been exciting as well is the injection of other applications as part of that. So for those of you that want project management tools as part of your Microsoft Team project, instead of trying to use Project to do it, they've allowed us to integrate Smartsheet, Asana, and several other applications that are not part of the Microsoft typical Office 365 stack, but are actually third-party products, are allowing you to connect and add them in as links into your Microsoft Teams site, and therefore pull that data in as well. So you really truly get the ability to have a super collaborative environment where it's sort of a one-stop shop. I get to see my team members, I get to have all my documents, I get to have all my OneNote associated to it where I'm taking all my collaborative notes from my meetings, I can connect other applications, I can have Power BI, so I can get this really collaborative environment with almost no setup as long as you own Office 365, at least E1, E3, and higher in the commercial and gov spaces. I don't know if it's available for EDU, but I do know it's available for gov and commercial users. So those are the two exciting things that we've had in the Microsoft world over the last, I would say 4 weeks, and I look forward to bringing more of this to you for May. Have a great afternoon. Thank you.